Welcome back, beautiful humans. I'm so glad you joined us today, and welcome if I die tomorrow. We're exploring some of life's hardest questions with honesty, heart, and just enough light to walk through the dark world that we call life. Today's episode is called Dealing with Loss, not just death. When we hear the word loss, we often think of death. And yes, we'll talk about that. But loss wears many faces. The end of a relationship, a friend moving across the world, growing apart from someone who used to be your person, or even letting go of a version of yourself you've outgrown. So today, we're going to sit with that. Not to wallow, but to acknowledge it. Because there's importance in that. And to gently explore how to live through it. You ready? Death is the most obvious kind of loss. It's sharp, irreversible. But other kinds of loss are quieter and sometimes just as painful. Like when your best friend slowly stops texting you back. When a relationship ends, even if it needed to. When a parent ages and the dynamic shifts. When you move to a new city and leave behind a whole version of a life you knew. These are losses too, and they matter. But we don't always name them. We brush them off. People grow apart. It's just life. Blah, 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 blah. But naming the loss is part of the healing. So if something's been hurting and you haven't given yourself permission to grieve it, maybe now's the time. It's okay. Here's the thing. Grief isn't just for the dead. Grief is love with nowhere to go. It's the ache that's left behind when connections change or even disappear. And that shows up in more ways than a funeral. You can grieve a friendship that fizzled out, the breakup you didn't see coming, the version of your childhood that never actually really happened, the person you used to be before the world got heavy. And guess what? That grief is valid. There's no need to compare losses. I shouldn't be this upset. It's not like they died. If it hurts your heart, your pain is real. You're allowed to fully feel that. Let's talk about losses that we can undo, which is death. Whether it was expected or sudden, the death of someone you love tears a hole in you. And it tears a hole in your world. And no, it doesn't get better in the way people think. It changes. It gets quieter. It moves from a sharp scream to a low, steady ache. But you keep living. And slowly, minute by minute, you start building around the grief, not past it. There are some tools that can help. Rituals like lighting a candle, visiting their favorite place, saying their name. Write them a letter. Tell them what you wished you would have said. Again, If I Die Tomorrow is about trying to make sure that we live this day that we have right now the best that we can. When you're dealing with loss and grief, be with people who get you. When you show them your vulnerability, accept their support. You don't need advice, you need presence. And you get that by being with your community, your tribe. You can do therapy for the deep stuff that won't move without help. And remember, crying doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you loved well. So remember that. And not all losses are tragic. Some just are. The friend you naturally drifted from. The partner who wasn't right anymore. The city you had to leave so that you could grow as a person. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the good. You can miss someone and still know it's over. You can mourn what was and still be grateful for it. And be grateful it happened. Closure, my friends, is another lie we tell ourselves. So I tell people all the time, we lie to ourselves. One of our biggest lies when we're younger is, I can't wait till I'm an adult. That is such a lie. We think life is going to be great and it's going to be filled with, I can go to bed whenever I want and I can go out and do whatever I want. And then we realize as we're an adult, our go out was to the grocery store and our bedtime was probably what we wished our parents was trying to make us go to bed before. Anyway, closure is another lie we tell ourselves. It's a myth. Most of the time, we carry the unanswered questions and unfinished stories with us. And that's okay. You're not weak for feeling sad. You're beautifully human. So what do you do with all of this? Here's what I've learned. And what I've learned from others who have been gracious enough to be vulnerable with me. Don't minimize your loss. Name it. Feel it with every fiber of your being, even if it's messy or inconvenient. Create a space for memories and meaning. You can do it through art or journaling, having conversations. Keep living, even when it feels impossible. The sun will rise. And when it does, let it hit your skin and feel that warmth. And you can tell yourself it's a hug from the person that left. Because you can find comfort in that. Don't be afraid to feel joy. Grief and joy are not enemies. There's some things that are enemies, but not grief and joy. Nor do you need to have guilt mixed in there. They're often side by side. Friends that no one really understands. Next, you're never going to move on. You're going to move with. You will grow. Because again, it doesn't go away. It just aches a little less. But it still aches. If I die tomorrow, I hope someone says my name out loud. I hope someone laughs at something I once said. I hope that they loved it deep enough that when they cry, it is not out of complete sadness. I hope they let themselves smile, because loss doesn't mean that the love is gone. It just changes its shape. And if you're grieving something or someone, some chapter of your life, or a part of your life that is no longer there, I just want to say, I see you, and you're not alone. I want to thank you for sitting with me today. Loss is a part of life, but so is connection. And the more we talk about grief and make it less of a dirty word and normalize that it's okay, the less alone we are in it. I often say I have a heart to love with. I have a mouth to speak nice things with. I have hands for helping, shoulders to lean on, and ears to listen with. And that's what you need. And that's who you are. If this episode helped, share it with someone who's going through something. There's a journal linked below, because some people really find comfort in writing and journaling their thoughts. It can be private, it can be shared. They're your thoughts, they're your feelings. You make that call. I want to remind you that although we don't know if we have tomorrow, we do have the choices to make today the best that we can. And I am so happy that you joined me. Please remember to be kind, be grateful, and stay humble, my friends. Until next time.